back, everybody. Oliver the OverAchiever by author Karin Mesa is written to encourage children to celebrate their individuality and the importance of being true to yourself.
Karin is with us this morning to talk about her latest book, which is beautifully illustrated. You wrote this and you illustrated it. You're doing the double team thing here.
I think it's really the most fun way of doing it. I would consider collaborating someday, but I'm having such a good time illustrating my own work that, yeah.
What books influenced you as a child? I mean, what was the first children's book that really made an impression?
It's funny you should ask, because yesterday all over Twitter and Facebook were condolences and memories of Maurice Sendak.
Mm-hmm.
And the first book that I ever picked out for myself was a book called Charlotte and the White Horse. And it was not written by him, but he illustrated it. Mm-hmm. And it was, I still have it. I got it when I was, in early grade school, and it just was so beautiful to me. And it wasn't the story on that book; it was a nice story, but the illustrations just were engaging, mm-hmm. and that was the one.
So you can tell in reading Oliver the OverAchiever that you are very driven by the illustrations themselves too. Clearly, I mean, the story is about an Anole who wants to express himself creatively, basically.
I think that to have normals and rules is a good thing. But I also think that they can't be used as a stop or a ceiling. I honestly think that he's a colorful being. He doesn't want to just turn brown and green. But he mostly doesn't use how things normally go as the only way it can be. He's really an individual.
Well, and kids, I think, especially at a young age, can be, well, even in regard to food, can be afraid to try new things. Little kids, they don't want to try anything they haven't tried before.
Yeah.
So it really takes a lot of courage to do it differently than their peers are doing it, than their friends are doing it, because sometimes, most of the time, little kids don't really want to stand out in the crowd. Why is that?
I think that it's embarrassing, and I think that it requires a real brave person to do the simple thing of being yourself. You have no defense then. You have nothing to hide behind. You have no quirky comebacks. You're just there. You're vulnerable, but you're your most powerful. And I think if kids learn that when they're young, they're going to bypass years and years of being things other than themselves.
Mm-hmm. What came first, the picture of Oliver or the story of Oliver?
The concept came first. Mm-hmm. As a grandmother, I really wanted to save my grandchildren from the lost decades, getting back to being who you really are. So I love the concept for the story, wanting to leave them something that made them feel adventurous and excellent about themselves. Then I worked on the story for a while and sort of fleshed it out, and then one day just started rhyming it. And after it began to rhyme, I went quickly and then began to illustrate. Mm-hmm. One of the people who endorsed the book is a speech pathologist and an early reading specialist. And I hadn't known this when I started, but she basically said children learn to read with their ears before their eyes. So the fact that it rhymes makes it more fun to identify what words are. And it also has a glossary at the end, which I think is really important.
We found it useful. Jerome and I did not know what Anole was until today.
Well, and I mispronounced it during the tease coming up to this. So, so an Anole is like it's like a gecko, or what is it exactly?
Well, almost all the little lizards that you see running around outside in Florida are Anoles.
Are they really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, the ones that stick to the ceiling with the bigger feet, those are geckos.
Okay.
And this book has recently won an award. Tell us a little bit about this, Karin.
It received most recently the Mom's Choice Award. I was particularly proud of it because it's a group that judges each product on its own merit, and they try to find a book that will be inspiring, that will encourage a moral code, teach a good lesson, and encourage physical, mental, and spiritual health for children and families. Well, I can't find a thing about that to disagree with.
You seem to me like very much a literary purist in regard, especially obviously to children's literature. Would you like to see this made into an animated television show, or does that go against everything that you stand for as a writer and an illustrator?
I would love it.
Yeah?
Yeah, the other day I was thinking to myself that I walk through this garden. I live in this beautiful 1-acre garden called La Mancha Glass Gardens. My husband and I work together as glass artists. So the things that you see unfolding, you know, with nature, new orchids blooming, or an anole doing something particularly silly, I thought there's way too many ideas to just keep doing books. I would love to have something really well rendered that could be like that for children. I think it would be fun.
I have to show everybody very quickly just the inside cover of the book, because this is spectacular. Who would not want to wear this all over them all the time? It's just fantastic. Your artwork is beautiful, Karin. The story is sweet as well. Where can people find the book?
It's available at major bookstores. You can order it through your neighborhood bookstore, the Independents, which I happen to love, and you can order it through the publisher, which is Tendril Press, and my website as well if you want an autographed copy. But it's available and distributed by a major distributor, so it's easy to find.
Well, will you sign the copy that you brought for us?
I will.
We'll give it to you during the break. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Hey, stick around, everybody. This is shocking news, breaking